Hello everyone, Chris with Team BudoCode here, and I'm going to take just a couple of minutes and show you how you can set up a class reservation system inside your app for your students so that they'll be able to go from their app right into your schedule, see what classes you have coming up. Let's go ahead and choose the next one. See, I've got a class set for tomorrow, and we can reserve the spot. I can even see who will be in there, instructors assigned to it, answer some questions before they get there. But in order to make that happen, we have to build this in the admin first. So over in the BudoCode admin, we're going to go to your school and select the program you want to work with. I'm going to work with my Senior Karate 2 class here. And I'm going to choose the time zone. You got to make sure your time zone is set first. So this has to be very specific to that program. Then I'm going to go to class schedule. As you can see, I've already got one class set up here, and I'm going to add a class. Here I'm going to come up with a class name. Let's go ahead and we'll do this one, intermediate adults, and we'll have Oliver teach this one. And this is also a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class as well, and this one's going to start at 7. We just go through, make sure you get the correct configuration, and it goes for 45 minutes. I'm going to allow for check-in up to one of these things here. So let's go ahead and I'll just say 7 days out and allow for late check-in 10 minutes after class starts. I'm going to set the maximum number of people who can check in, reserve for the class as 10. And this is in my city here, as we'll just put this as Keller. And I'm going to select the picture from my computer. I'm just going to choose to bring this from my computer. I've got this file already open, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. This is about 100 by 100 picture. So we'll go ahead and put that in. It's great. Just give it a second. Okay, now that URL's in here. The most important thing here is you're going to make sure you set your check-in distance. Set this to be miles. And another video, I'll show you how you can actually work check-ins when they're at your location. But for right now, we want them to be able to reserve where they are. So go to beacon settings and make sure you have that set for 10 miles. Once everything is good, hit save. Great. Now I have a new class that's available. You'll notice that there's a show questions. This is toggled no right now, but I may want to have it on. So let me go ahead and I'll turn that on and hit save. Okay, that's great. So everything looks good in there. Again, this is where the show questions on. And I'll show you what those are right now. So let's go back into the application. So let me just load up my program. And I'm going to go into my schedules, events and classes, right off the menus. Excellent, and let's just step to July. There we go. So now I can choose between my beginner and adults or my intermediate adults. So we're going to do two things here. First, I'm going to check into the beginner class, and I'm going to change profiles, and I'm going to check in here. So right now, I'm logged in with my Lisa Smith profile, and Lisa's going to check into the beginner adults. So here is the spot here, and we have beginner adults. Reserve your spot. How are you feeling today? Have you had a cough, cold, or prolonged fever in the last 2 weeks? No, I have not. Have you been in touch with anyone who's had a prolonged cough, cold, or fever in the last 14 days? No. And have you traveled to or from any severe COVID-19 impacted areas? No. All right, I'm now allowed to check in, and I can actually check in here with Lisa's information. So there we go. And so I can step back to that. If I go back in here and look again at July, I can see now Lisa has reserved her spot in the beginner adults. But let's just say now another member of the family needs to check in. And if we look here now, you'll notice here that I'm not reserved. So if I change back to Lisa, you see it's reserved. If I switch over to Chris, it's open so that one could check in. And you can actually see that there's already been one check-in here already. So let's go to another one here. So I'm going to actually go back. I'm going to check in. Let's go look on the first. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and check in for the intermediate adults. Very nice. So I'm going to reserve my spot. This time I'm going to go through my questions. Have you had a cold, cough, or prolonged fever? No. Have you been in touch? No. This one, have I traveled? Yeah, I actually have been traveling. So I'm going to say yes. Up. Thank you for being responsible. Stay close. Back to calendar. All right, once I get into that, then I can see all future classes. When I come back over into this section here, if I look here, if I click on these dates, I can actually see that the check-in has now occurred. So I can look on Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, and I can see that users have checked in. And if I look over in this particular program, I can see that so far we have no one has checked into intermediate yet, but we have beginner adults that are ready to go. So that's how you set up your class and use the system within the application. If you do not want to show the questions, just simply turn the question off and they will not show beforehand and allow people to directly check in. Thank you. Everyone stay safe. Wash those hands.